Hello and welcome to step 2 of the Point and Press team's Show Me the Money system. Now at this stage you should have already seen step 1, which of course is where Donny Osmond is on Dr. Phil. In fact, let me just show you just a brief portion of that.
Look at you.
Well,
I mean, we've known each other a long time.
Yeah.
We've passed. You don't ever get older.
Well, thank you. It's quite funny because, people are kind of shocked when they hear that I'm 54 years old and they say, how do you keep your youth? I have found something, Dr. Phil, that I think is the closest thing to the fountain of youth.
Oh, you do have a secret.
I have a secret, and I've never really talked about it. I've been doing this for the last 2 years. It's called Protandim, and it works. I'm telling everybody about this.
You feel differently.
I do.
Because you're running around like a chicken with your head cut off.
Yeah.
But, I mean, you're hitting the times. You're getting where you're supposed to be.
I have
You're
to
doing
be on the spot all the time.
Someone introduced me to Protandim. I just looked at the research and figured out, hey, wait a minute. I have to take 360 oranges in one day to get the same effect of one pill? Salt.
Now at this stage, of course it had the ABC, and that was Montel Williams, and he's got MS. And I think it was on Oprah Winfrey that I saw where he had talked about Protandim and how it's helped him with his MS. Anyways, I'm not going to talk about that. In the step 1, on that page, you would have seen these videos, and then you would have seen Dr. Gary Skip Campbell go into more detail at the end of the ABC video. Now, as you might remember, the ABC video, it was an investigative report. They were actually come to look for bullet holes. They were trying to find things wrong with the company, and they came away with an absolute, couldn't believe it. And on that video, you saw the gentleman that it showed his oxidative stress had dropped down by 45% like 13 days, less than 2 weeks. It was pretty cool. So we're not going to talk about the product in this particular section, and we're not going to talk about the company. What we're going to talk about is how you can use that amazing miracle pill, as they call it, and how you can take care of your pocketbook. Now, I know some of you don't need the money, but even Bill Gates and Donald Trump, they wouldn't turn it away. They want and would like more money. So now what I'm going to do is I want you to think about these 3 things. When would you like to retire? 1 month, 1 year, 3 years, 6, or however long it wants to be. And how much would you like to retire on each month? 1,000, 3,000, 5,000 or more? And 3, how much would you need to invest at 6% in order to receive that monthly income? In other words, if you wanted, say, $5,000 a month after you've had the house and the cars paid off and you're literally just money coming in, how much, if you wanted $5,000 a month, and that's about $1 point something million in the bank invested at 6% in order to get that. Well, what we're going to show you is how you don't have to put $1 million in the bank, because most people can't do that. But we've got a pretty cool formula to do that. Now, the 3 things that most people want is more time, more money, or better health. Now, the problem is that people that seem to have the time don't seem to have the money. The people that have the money don't seem to have the time to enjoy that money. And an example is Dr. Campbell that you saw in Step 1 video. He was making $30,000, $40,000 a month as a doctor, and he had no time to watch his kids grow up, and grandkids are coming along. So that's the reason why he had the money, but not the time. But even if you had all the time and money in the world, if your health was failing you, then most people would agree that you couldn't enjoy your time and money to its fullest extent. Now, when you're looking for a business, Bill Gates, says the keys to his success being at the right place at the right time, having a vision for the future, and take immediate and massive action. Now, as for me, I grew up poor in Blue Springs, Missouri. There was times where there were 17 of us living in a 3-bedroom house. In fact, my best friend in high school, Alonzo, told me that he remembered this house, but he always wondered why I would get off on the bus stop like a block down the road. And it was because all of my friends had really nice houses, and maybe we didn't. I'm half Samoan, half Norwegian. It's mom and dad. When I was 19, I did a Christian mission for a church for 2 years in Australia. Happened to meet a wonderful girl named Michelle, and came back to the States, and we got married and had a big Samoan wedding, and people thought, wow, you guys have got it made. You guys must have some money. Look at that cake. But the reality was that I took her on her honeymoon to the exotic locations of Interstate Inn. It's a $12 a night motel. It wasn't a really cool place. Anyways, I've made up for that sin, so which is nice. Now I became a factory worker. I retreaded truck tires, and I did that for a few years. There's my cousin Oppie. This is in Springdale, Arkansas, and it was dingy. I was making $5 an hour, and I eventually got into management. But all they did was change the color of my shirt, and then I put me on salary, and then they worked you longer, and you actually made less per hour than the factory guys did. And so, anyways, long story short, moved to Australia and moved in with my in-laws. Wonderful people. We stayed with them for 5 years. And but I could never have enough money for a down payment for our own place, and so you don't make a lot of money. Well, anyways, I started working for a gentleman named Phil Tornabini in sales. My brother-in-law got me the job. He was his accountant. And Phil is considered one of the best businessmen I know. He was in the who's who of 1998 and in 2001. Everything he touches turns to gold. And him and his wife, Nolene, there, I was working for him. I was doing horrible. In fact, I was doing so bad that he was about to fire me. And it was at that stage that I was introduced to the industry, into the network marketing industry. And I was like, I got this audio, I listened to it, and then I said, wow, this could be good. So I borrowed the money and got involved. And then I went over and I said, Phil, you're rich, I'm poor. Tell me what you think. Anyways, it was about a week later. He said, Ken, there could be something here. So I flew to the States, met some owners of some company, went in there, and he called me up and says, Ken, what's your ID number? And I said, why? He said, well, I'd like to get started. And I thought, wow, my boss, this brilliant guy, is now working with me. I thought, what an industry that allows someone who is as great as Phil is and Nolene in their business, and allows someone like me who is not a good businessman. I went to high school, but I didn't do the greatest there. And it was a great way to be able to have an industry that would help to level the playing field. Well, long story short, I tripled my income in 3 months. And I then went into Phil and I showed him the money I got from this industry. And I said, Phil, you're rich, I'm poor. I can't afford to stay here anymore. And I was able to fire my boss. Well, the cool thing is just a few months later, Phil and Nolene sold that business. They had lots of businesses and they got lots of properties. They got everything. They got $1 million sitting in the bank. They're good. But they sold that, and then we were able to travel the world together and do all sorts of things. And so, wonderful person, great business. But the cool thing was, after a year in the business, I was able to I was actually buy my wife this home. It's a 7-bedroom, 6,000 square. I'm not sure how big it was, but it was pretty cool to go from living with my wife's parents and after just a year in this industry to be able to do that. And then Phil says, Ken, you got to get a car. And I was like, why? I like my car. He goes, well, you need it for tax purposes. And my accountant says I needed to start spending the money because there was more profits in Australia. They take 50% of your profits. So it's either you lose it or you use it. And so you start getting things. And so I got my first S-Class Benz, and then we got a 7 Series Beamer and the Lexus and all that sort of stuff. Now, I don't tell you those things to boast, but just to give you confidence to know that I know what I'm talking about. I've done it. I've been there. I've done that. And I've been counseled and trained and mentored by the best of the best in the world. And so you get to do whatever you want. You go out. I mean, you literally get to do some cool things. But the most important part is being with your family. That's what I like doing. Now, I'm going to show you this thing, which is really cool. Because the principles that you're going to see now is what I did at this particular meeting is in Atlanta, Georgia, and it was at a huge convention. They had 500 people in the room, and they were there for joint venture marketing. And the people that flew us in said, don't worry, they're not going to join your business because they're here for this. So I said, all right, so I'll just do my normal thing. And so this is what happened. I just finished the Show Me the Money presentation in front of these people. And then Mr. Jack Zufelt, one of the greatest trainers of all times in our industry, he comes up behind me, and just watch what happens.
However, if he says, I wouldn't mind seeing what's on that DVD, then he then watches what's happening with Rosie O'Donnell, Brisbane Extra. I then tell him how to make the money. If he's interested after that, you got yourself some of this quite interesting. Well, we're not using the DVD here. You guys are going to have it better than that. You're going to be using it on the internet, what you're learning about joint venture marketing now. So I'm going to stop there. I'm going to turn the last couple minutes to Jack, and then we'll talk afterwards. Thank you.
Thanks, Ken. Sean has permitted me to make this offer to you. There's a distributor application out there. There's one for all of you. The first 10 people to sign up get the rest of them under them. Okay, now be nice to each other out there. And Sean is going...
That was kind of cool. Anyways, so I'm going to teach you those principles. And this is the first one. This is the first principle I was taught for understanding wealth. I want you to pretend like I'm a genie and I can give you one wish, but you only get two choices. First choice is I'll give you $1,000,000. The second choice, I will give you 1 penny that doubles every day, but for 31 days. And you have to drive an hour. So I live about an hour and a half, 2 hours from Vegas right now. So I have to drive to Vegas. So you got to drive to Vegas. You got to put the gas in the car. You got to get there. Got to go through traffic, go through the gorge, and and then get there. And when you get there, you give my partner over there your penny, and they will double it and give you 2 pennies. Then you've got to drive all the way back. And then the next day you got to do it again. You got to do that for 31 days. Which would you choose? Well, as a factory worker, $1,000,000 would be much better. Who wants to run around for pennies? So let's begin. The first day you get a penny, then 2 pennies, and 4 pennies, and all of a sudden, 10 days, you got $5.12. How embarrassing. Barely buy a Big Mac for that. Anyways, some people quit. They get frustrated, and this isn't working, and they get mad. And then the other said, you know what? I said I was going to do it for this, so let's go do it. So you drive to Vegas, you take your $5.12, and you get there and you give it to the double it and give you $10. And 10 becomes 20, 20 becomes 40, 40 becomes 80. And all of a sudden, after 20 days, it's still only $5,000. Wow, it's not looking so good. You should have taken that $1,000,000. Some people quit, and some people say, you know what? There's only 11 more days. Let's keep doing it. They drive to Vegas. 5,000 becomes 10,000. 10,000 becomes 20. Now you can't wait to get to Vegas because you know when you get there, 20 is going to become 41, 41 is going to become 83, and you might not even drive. You might start taking a helicopter and then flying down there because you can. And by the 28th day, $1.3 million. But wait, we didn't agree to 28 days, did we? We agreed to 31 days. So 1.3 becomes 2.6, 2.6 becomes 5.3, and the final day of our agreement comes $10.7 million. Now who's laughing all the way to the bank? You see, when Einstein, the smartest man in the world, was asked what he thought one of the most important things on the planet, he said that the eighth wonder of the world was compound interest. Those that understand it, get it, but get it. Those that don't understand it, pay it. And so how do we get compound interest to work for you? Simple. It's called the Show Me the Money system. If you can answer yes to these 3 questions, then we'll show you how to harness the power of compound interest. Question 1, do you want to make a lot of money, and do you know why? The why is more important than the how. You see, that's why we teach the concepts of Jack Zufeld. Jack was awarded the Presidential Medal of Merit. And what made him so important, why people fly him around the world, he gets $5,000 an hour on the phone. He gets $20,000 just to show up and do things and train. Well, he's the guy who was just the best at teaching you how to get your why. So we've got a free gift for people that want to continue to move forward and want to get that free why. And it's his book called The DNA of Success. It is phenomenal. Anyway, second question is, do you have or can you get the money it takes to get started? Now, remember in the first video in step 1, at the end of the video, it went through the 3 different ways to come in. We have the good, better, and best. That's how I call it. The good way is the $300. The better way is the $600. And the best way, and the reason why most people come in here is because it is the best, because it's for those people that want to build a business and they want to move fast. They don't want to really take the slower path. So generally, when someone comes on the good system, people will come in the way that you come in. And that's usually what I call the 3 to 6 or the 2 to 5 year plan. It'll get you there. It's just going to take a bit longer. The better system is the $600 one, and it's still great. It just gives you more product. So it means it's if you cannot afford the best, then and if it's a stretch, then stretch. If not, then come in on the pack that you can afford. But just know this, that I'm half Samoan, and my Samoan relatives never had any money. But whenever there was a funeral or a wedding, we always found it. And so this is how bad do you want your business? Okay, so do you have or can you get the money it takes to get started? And we're just going to assume the $1,200 for this exercise. And the third question is, do you know 3 people who can answer yes to these 3 questions? All right, this is what it looks like basically. So we're gonna assume that you're gonna do this in months. So let's say this company pays down 9 levels, but let's assume that we'll just do a month. Will it take you a month to get 3 people? And let's say, yeah, you did it. So you send out that presentation, the step 1 video, and we suggest that you send it out, maybe 15 times a month. That's pretty safe. And we'll give you all the trainings and the scripts that it takes to do it. It's really very simple. But let's assume that you found those 3 people and it took you a month to do that. And let's put the month as January. So you got in January and you got your 3 people. Those 3 people came in on the same way you did, which is the best pack, which is $1,200. Well, the company is going to pay you $500 for each person that you bring in on the best pack. So you get 3 people at $500 each, that you make $1,500. So if you had to borrow the money on a credit card, what a lot of people do, and they do a little bit of work, within a short period of time, you'll have all that money back. Plus, you'll have a little bit extra to take your wife or your husband out to the Red Lobster and get a movie. Okay, now let's go to the next month. Let's go to February now. Now, those 3 people, it's their first month in the business, and they all said yes to the same 3 questions, including question number 3, which is, do you know 3 people? Well, if 3 people get 3, that's 9. Now, just a note, how many people did you have to get in that second month? Most people think you have to get another 3. That is not true. You can if you want. You make more money. However, you found your 3. So in this formula, you're done. Congratulations. But make sure you pick your 3 that are ones that answer those questions. So that's why it's important. Okay, well, if 9 people come into the business, even though you didn't bring them in, and they all came in on the $1,200 pack, the company is going to pay you $50 each for those. And that's going to give you $450. So in the first 2 months, you basically make $1,950. That's not a bad return. Okay, now I'm going to shift. We have, that was your initial investment to get in. It's kind of like buying like a bakery. So you've spent the money, you spent your $1,200. You got this big bakery, and it's really nice and pretty and all that sort of stuff. And next month comes up, you open the doors. You're going to have some products. If you don't buy your flour or your sugar, you've got this nice, pretty building, but you don't have anything to move. You don't have any products to move. So what we tell people is that we tell people to be their own customer. Just buy from yourself. Now, there's 2 ways to do that. We have the $100 where you buy yourself $100, which gives you the Pro Tandem is like $40 a bottle. And so our auto ship is we have one that's $100 and $200. Now, the $100 one allows you to get paid down to 2 levels. But you'll see quickly why most people come in on the $200 auto ship. Now, the auto ship simply means it's personal use. That means if, let's say that so Michelle and I, we have 1 bottle each and we got 3 bottles left over. But I cannot keep the stuff. People watch that step 1 video. Even if they don't want to join, they want to try the product. Well, you don't even have to buy product. If you've got 5 people that just buy a bottle a month, you have 5 people, there's your $200. So, but I'm never going to go without the product. I'll tell you about my personal things with my heart after 2.5 months, and I still can't believe it, but I won't go into that on this particular presentation. All right, so what happens now? Oh, and there's the formula, we got a bakery. Okay, so basically what you do is you want to be your own customer, and then you want to have 3 people to do the same. This is what that looks like. Okay, so remember each level is like if you sponsor a person, it's kind of like you've got your dad and then your dad's grandpa and then grandpa's dad and grandpa's dad. It's kind of the same thing as generations. Phil Tornabini taught me it's like an elevator. On each level you go up and you get paid on each level. So let's say level 1. That's where you started. Remember, we talked about the 3 people, but before that, let's assume there's your auto ship value, the 200. So everybody is the same thing. The 3 people, they're on their 200 auto ship. The company pays you 2%, which gives you $4 on the first level. So after you have that initial money, that $500, after that it's $4. And all of a sudden it's like dismal, right? No, this is your long-term income. This is your wealth building income coming here, and you'll see why here in a second. Okay, so when those people on that second level, we get 5%, which is $10. And then the third level, we have $18, that's phenomenal. It's industry leading. And then on the 4th level, we get $10 and $10 and $10 and $10 and $10. And on the 9th level, we get 2%, which is back to $4. That's how much money we make on each level when people come into our business on those different levels. Now, remember question number 3? That was, do you know 3 people? So there's your first 3 people. They're on your first level. and you're going to get $4 each for them. Well, that's going to give you $12. And that gives you a total for that month. Let's just start with January again. Let's just do January. It makes it simpler for me to explain it. Okay, so $12. Don't buy a house yet, okay? Let's wait. Now let's go to the second month. Let's just do this in months. So like, say you got your 3 people that first month, and then those 3 people are now going to take theirs, and they're going to get their 3, and that's going to take a month. So in February, so there's 9 people. The company is going to give you $10 each. So 10 times 9 is $90. So your running total is $102. You see, you get paid on each level each month. So as each month goes, you get paid the other levels as well. Now the third level, we have, let's go back to question number 3. Do you know 3 people? So 9 people said, I know 3. 3 times 9 is 27. The company is going to pay you $18. So 18 times 27 is $486. That's a good car payment. Let's go to the 4th level. So January, February, March, April. So now we're in April. So we get to 27 people said, I know 3. 3 times 27 is 81. The company pays you $10 each, which gives us $8.10. And that gives you a running total for that month of $1,398. And now let's go to the next month. We get 81 people said, I know 3. 3 times that is 243. Company is going to pay you $2,430. Your running total at that stage is $3,800. Now that's not bad. That's a big house. That's kind of cool. Let's go to the next month, which is June. January, March, April, May, June. We have 243 people that said, I know 3. That gives us 729 people. The company pays us $10 each for that level, which gives us $7,290. Our running total at that stage is $11,000, even if it didn't get bigger than that. That's still, what, 120, 130, that's not bad just for that. But let's keep going. 729 people said, I know 3, and that gives you 2,187. That gives us a running total for that month on that level alone, we get $21,000. If it didn't get any bigger than that, $21,000, that's still about $250,000 a year. Running total for that month is now $32,000. That's about where Seth was when I met him, and he's what's called a Pro 9. We'll go into those things later. And of course, on the 8th level, we have 2,100 people that says, yes, I know 3. That gives you 6,561 people. We get $10 each, which gives us $65,610, a running total of $98,000. Now, I'm not going to show you that last one there. You can go figure that one out. But the reason why I stopped there is because that gives you $98,000 a month. If it didn't get any bigger than that, you take that over 12 months, that's $1.1 million. That's where Skip Campbell. So Seth was making 30. I think when I first met him, he was making about $35,000 a month. And that's when he was 24 years old. He started that, and he's I think 31 right now. Anyways, his dad, who brought him into the business, was making about this when I first met him, and that's not bad to make $1 million plus a year. But what if, now that's in a perfect world. What if we weren't in a perfect world? What would happen? You might be able to get 3, but 3 might get 1, 1 might get 2, 2 might get none. So what if we worked really hard, but we fell short of that by 90%? Now remember, that's in 8 months, or it can be 8 years or 8 days, 8 weeks. It's a formula. But if we focused on only 3 people in a month, well, if we fell at 90%, that would still give us $118,000 a year. That's at a 90% failure rate. Even if we fell 99%, would $11,000 part-time be worth a few dollars phone call and some time? Absolutely.
The world is changing faster than ever. What used to take decades is now taking years or even months.
What you see right now is the illusion that people have had for many decades about the workplace being the secure place to work the rest of your life.
For the first time in the history of our nation, our children will not do as well as us.
We've seen our friends get laid off. We've been laid off. We've had our pay cut.
People are overworked and underpaid. They seem to have less time and less freedom. They live under constant pressure.
This is going to be forced. And so even if your employer loves you, they may have to cut you. There's something wrong that on Monday morning, the heart attack rate increases by 35%.
Technology is accelerating, job security is declining. just doesn't seem like the old models of making a living are as reliable as they used to be.
Every aspect of our lives, there's a better way out there, but we're still doing it the old way.
We live in the greatest country on the planet, and there are a lot of people sitting around complaining and being cynical.
Like everyone's whining about this old model, and I'm like, why don't you leave it? Look at all this over here. Look at all this opportunity.
Since so much of our lives revolve around our work and the way we make our living, many people are thinking there just has to be a better way.
The biggest challenge facing our world today is not making money, is what are we going to do with all the displaced, unemployed people?
People are afraid that they're going to make the wrong decision. People are afraid of the unknown. People are afraid that maybe I don't have the skills.
Hey, sports fans, industrial age is over. It's dead. It's dying. That's why going to school to get a job is an obsolete idea. A steady paycheck is an industrial age idea.
Imagine what your world would look like if you had known about Apple, Google, or Facebook early enough to participate financially in their growth. Who wouldn't go back in time and partner with these industry-leading companies? Being first is crucial when it comes to business. It's not always what you know, it's who you know that leads to opportunity. Someone you know is currently giving you the look into the future of health and wellness. Imagine a world where the cells of your body become more capable of dealing with environmental and biological stress. Imagine a world where you don't take antioxidants and simply hope they work, but where your body has the ability to combat these stresses and fight them naturally on its own. Imagine no more. That world is here. Introducing LifeVantage, a publicly traded company and industry leader in Nrf2 activation. A recent peer-reviewed study from Washington State University calls Nrf2 activation one of the most extraordinary therapeutic and preventative breakthroughs in the history of medicine. Our company holds multiple patents on life-changing products that have already created over $600 million in revenue. Soon, the rejuvenating effects of activating Nrf2 will be widely known. LifeVantage is the pioneer in this new and exciting way of feeling, looking, and performing at your best. It's an absolute game changer in this $300 billion anti-aging industry, and we are first to market. LifeVantage has developed world-class natural products that have been tested at universities around the world and proven to work. These breakthrough products have been highlighted on national television networks like ABC, NBC, and PBS. It also has been reported on the Wall Street Journal and have peer-reviewed studies that have been published in major medical journals. Our flagship product Protandim will reduce the damage caused by cellular aging. After 30 days of taking Protandim, your body will naturally begin to protect itself the way it did when you were much younger. Want to change the look and feel of your skin? LifeVantage has developed an industry-first Nrf2 enhanced skincare system, True Science. The revolutionary and proven ingredients in True Science will take years off your appearance with instant and long-term anti-aging benefits. Do you have 3 minutes? If so, you'll see the effects of True Science Microlift Serum. It will quickly restore a youthful appearance to the skin around your eyes. This blend of silicates and natural clay helps you look remarkable now without sacrificing skin health in the long term. The only smart way to restore visible beauty. Ever need more energy to be your best? Axio is a powerful combination of brain ergogenics delivering the anti-fatigue, balanced mood, and mental focus benefits to keep your mind and body going all day. And all night if needed. Finally, an energy drink that tastes great and gives you the ability to do more. Want to manage your weight the smart way? Give your body the boost it needs with our proven physique weight management system. Using these products together, you will immediately begin to recharge and rebalance your body's internal weight management system. This comprehensive approach will kickstart your body's ability to lose weight. It also supports optimal digestion and immune function that assist in building and maintaining lean muscle mass. Want to capitalize on the explosive growth of this company? LifeVantage chose a business model that gives you access to a proven system of success. We have a plan that offers you the opportunity to change your financial future with unlimited earning potential. In just a few short years, entrepreneurs in this company have already created 5, 6, and 7-figure residual incomes by creating leverage networks. Robert Kiyosaki, the author of Rich Dad Poor Dad, says, "The richest people in the world look for and build networks." We will teach you how to build leverage income so you can stop trading hours for dollars. Did you know that trends are of the utmost importance in business? Top economists have declared the health and wellness industry to be the next trillion-dollar category of business. People worldwide put a great deal of importance on feeling, looking, and performing at their best, and so does LifeVantage. Many baby boomers are willing to spend money for premium health and beauty. They control 77% of America's wealth. At the same time, many find themselves working past the age of retirement. More than 1/3 of working adults have no retirement savings. This is why 70% of young adults want to start their own business. This opportunity is very attractive to all generations. This makes LifeVantage the perfect fit for you and the people you know because we've already paid out over $200 million to individuals who see the vision and are willing to share this amazing opportunity. You are perfectly positioned to capture your piece of a company that is traded on the NASDAQ along the world's largest and most successful companies. LifeVantage has an experienced management team with decades of global accomplishments. The company branding has already begun with the partnership of Real Salt Lake, one of the top professional teams in Major League Soccer. LifeVantage exposure continues by being featured again in FIFA 2016, one of the largest selling video games in the world. Ask the person who shared this information with you to show you the income earnings statement. This document will open your eyes to the financial possibilities of joining a team of people that think like you and are willing to do whatever it takes to have a better tomorrow. Many distributors who work their LifeVantage business part-time now have choices they never had before. Choices like bringing their spouse home from work, taking a vacation, buying a new car, or being debt-free for the first time in their adult life. What would an extra $1,000, $2,000, or $5,000 a month residually do for your family? This is just the income earned by the middle ranks. Those who take this once-in-a-lifetime opportunity seriously can earn much, much more. Ask yourself, who doesn't want to slow down aging? And who doesn't want to make more money? Let's quickly cover the 3 options you have to get involved with this amazing opportunity. The Platinum Pack is designed for people who want to get started quickly and have plenty of product on hand to share with others. The cost of the Platinum Pack is $1,200. It comes with $1,065 worth of product, $95 of marketing materials, and tools that you can use to share with others. It also includes an Elite Academy ticket, which is our quarterly training program and vital to the success of your business. This event will give you a solid education and help you hit the ground running. Another option is the Vantage Pack. This is a $600 pack and comes with $500 of product and about $100 worth of marketing material. The third option is the Freedom Pack. This is a $300 pack and comes with $200 of products and about $100 worth of marketing material. No matter your current financial situation, LifeVantage has made it easy for people to get started on this amazing business opportunity. Great opportunities are hard to find. Think about the way you were invited to this information. You didn't find it. It found you. This puts you at the right place at the right time. LifeVantage is poised to become a multi-billion-dollar company, and you just happen to be a part of the small percentage of people who know about it before everyone else. The door of opportunity has been opened. You have officially been invited to join the LifeVantage opportunity.
You see, there's a formulation that people say you've got to have the timing. So at the beginning you see formulation, and that's when they're putting things together and they're finding all the stuff and getting all that. Then you have consolidation. The product's now tested. It's good. We know we have a working product. We've got all the accountants in place. We've got all the business and everything's ready to go. And then what happens is as long as your company and product are good, you go into what's called critical mass or critical mass growth. And then after you come through critical mass, then you have stabilization. Some good examples are like Apple, Microsoft, Coca-Cola. Can you imagine if you had shares in those companies when it was back? Formulation's hard, but in consolidation, if you had gotten your stocks or shares at that time, where would you be at today? You'd be multi-billionaire. Okay, well, this particular company, LifeVantage, is at consolidation right now. It is so cool. The timing is impeccable. There's some great research coming. There's just so much stuff out there, and now we're about ready to turn on the afterburners. The company is publicly listed. There's no hiding. Everything is transparent. And now it's opened up a field for people like me who loves marketing. I love marketing. I might not be the smartest guy when it comes to understanding how the pills work and how this works and that works, but I do know compound interest and I do know systems. And this is a reason why I'm excited, because I've now picked a company that is strong, stable, has an unbelievable product. I'm talking the best product on the planet, hands down. It is anyways, I won't go into it. It's pretty cool. But that's the reason why I chose this. Now, some people say, well, that's great. And, but how do we know that that's going to go through critical mass and all that sort of stuff? Well, sometimes you don't. Good example is Ron Wayne. I don't know if you know this, but he was a co-founder of Apple. He received 10% stake in Apple. And less than 2 weeks later, he sells his shares for $800. Today, guess how much he'd be worth? $58 billion, 10%. Oh my goodness. So, who knows? Hopefully when you watch this thing that makes sense to you, that you'll be able to take it and knock it out of the park. Now, when we talked about the business pack, or, the good, better, and best, this is basically what the best looks like. You're going to get enough products. Make sure that you yourself get onto the Protandim. Get yourself onto that stuff. It's unbelievable. Plus, there's a cool thing is that they also give you an event ticket and to the next big convention, which is kind of cool. And there's a whole bunch of stuff. So anyways, in a nutshell, this is what you need to do to take immediate massive action. If you want to make a $1,950 return, start writing down that name of those 3 people. And here's what you say to those 3 people. You call them up each individually if you want. And this is what I do. I call them up and say, hey, let's assume that their name is John. Call them up and say, hey, John, I want to send you something I'm pretty excited about. What's your email address? And you send them www.pointandpress.info. And that's all you do. And you get good at that. If you become good at that, hey, John, I want to send you something that I'm really excited about. What's your email address? Get really good at that. And you will watch what happens. And if you can teach someone, actually, you don't have to teach them, because that's what we do. That's what we do. And if you do that, you will be amazed at how fast, how quick, how things work with this thing. So make sure you do that. It's pretty cool. Okay, and basically, our plan is this simple. Plan is this. Become your own customer. Get $200 a month, whether you're using it or you have people that are ordering it. In fact, I believe that Dr. Campbell has about $4,000 that people order in his number. So he doesn't ever have to buy it, but he will never miss it. So you become your own customer and you find 3 people to become their own customers. That's the reality of what our business is. You don't have to worry about public speaking. You don't have to worry about selling your friends and family. Oh, and by the way, when you call your friend and family and just say, I want to send you something I'm really excited about, if they say to you, what is it? Don't open up a fire hose. You literally just say, it's about making money. If they say, well, what's the company? All the information's on the video. What's your email address? That is our training. So basically, let the person know that sent you this presentation, whether you're 1, 2, or 3. A 3 is you got plenty of time and plenty of money, but you might want to try some of the product. 2 is you need a bit more information about the company and the business. They'll make sure they send that to you. Or 1 is you can answer yes to the 3 questions, which are, you want to make a lot of money and you know why. You have and can get a hold of the money it takes to get started. And you know 3 people that can answer yes to these 3 questions. My name is Ken Rolfness. Hope you enjoyed this presentation, and we look forward to seeing you on the beaches of the world. Take care.